Well, hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 109 of our Get Your Goals annual challenge. Today we're talking about spiritual connection and getting and achieving our spiritual goals. We're focusing on spiritual goals, spiritual well-being, spiritual health, the month of April as part of this year's annual challenge. We're taking a 9-part life framework that I've used for the last couple of years. It used to be a 7-part one. I learned it from Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, literally decades ago. And I use it a lot in my life, usually to set my annual goals for sure and my legacy goals. But then sometimes I wasn't that terrific at always implementing. There were stages in my life when I was great at doing it and other stages when I wasn't. But for the last 10 years, actually 13 now, since my sudden cardiac arrest, I've made it a purposeful intention to have a framework that I look at and consider all the areas and aspects of my life, because I had a sudden cardiac arrest because I wasn't focusing on my health. I wasn't paying attention to my mental health. I wasn't paying attention to my spiritual health or my mental, my spiritual, my emotional, or my physical health. None of those. They were all sort of shoved down in the background. And because of that, I had a death experience. I had a major life challenge because I wasn't paying attention. So from that point on, I've made it my purposeful part of my life and my framework to pay attention to each of those areas and aspects of my life at least every year. And I've supplemented that by doing an annual challenge for the last 6 years or so. I've always done annual challenges, but I never did them online before. And I thought, well, if I'm doing it, what better way than to hold myself accountable than to show up every day, talk about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and then share what the action item I'm going to do right along with you is, in order to make sure that the goals and the challenge that I set out for myself, that I absolutely positively achieve that, and usually knock it out of the park. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. First one was to increase my comfort zone, to stretch my comfort zone. So we did one thing every day that scared us, out of a book called Do One Thing Every Day That Scares You. It's a little journal type book, and I used that and several others of that series to get myself going and rolling and doing an online annual challenge. I was still doing my physical and other challenges for myself in the background, but I wanted one that I could share. And that led to last year's BU 365-day challenge, where we did one thing every day that continuously improved us. I don't know why it took me that many years to do that, because continuous improvement's been one of my personal core values for a long, long time. And this year, one of my friends from one of the very first online Facebook Live challenges, annual challenges I ever participated in, Chad Hanna, recommended that we do something with goals this year. I think it was a terrific idea. So this year, every day we're talking about goals, different ways and different areas and aspects of our life, and tools that we can use to make sure that we get what we want out of our life. So today's topic is, and I guess I don't really have a tool to go along with it, but our topic is spiritual connection. Well, what the heck is spiritual connection? Spiritual connection is our connection to ourselves, as well as our connection to the universe. The universe being things outside of ourselves. We'll talk about in detail relationship connections in the month that we focus on relationships. But for the purposes of this, it would include relationships and other people, connection to other people, connection to our higher power or spiritual being, or whatever you happen to believe. And then I've always thought of my soul and my spirit, which we talked about yesterday, as little you is me, my conscious, my physical being and everything. And then big me, or big you, is the part of me that's bigger than just my physical being. And I guess that would be my soul. And then the energy of my soul would be my spirit and vitality. So there's little you, big you, little me, big me is how I look at it. Big me is the one that's really closely connected to something outside of myself, like the universe, God, whatever it is that you happen to believe in as a higher power. So what does this have to do with achieving our spiritual goals and objectives? Well, I contend that if our spirit and our intention and our connection to other things, especially to a higher power that can give us inspired action, it helps us to achieve our goals and objectives faster. So let's take an example of this. One of my personal spiritual goals is to have a positive impact on the people I come in contact in my life. And does it always work out that way? No, sometimes I rub people the wrong way. But my intent is to make the world a better place by making sure that my interactions with other human beings are positive. right? I want to focus on the positive, focus on solutions, focus on making things work, not on making them worse. So how am I going to go about doing that? And what we're going to do for an action item today is we're going to share one way that you'll connect spiritually in order to enhance your goals, your spiritual goals specifically, but other goals as well. Because just like every other area and aspect of our life, they're all interconnected. We can't just separate our physical being or our mental being or our spiritual being or our financial being from all of the rest of us. We are complex human beings. So we're going to share one way that we're going to spiritually connect as we go about achieving our spiritual goals and objectives. There's a write-up about this in Guide 17 in the Get Up and Go Challenge private Facebook group. You're welcome to join that. It's free. Just answer the 3 questions and you can pop in. Last year's annual challenge is all in there in Guide 15. Guide 16 is this year's challenge, so there's 109 days in there of that, or there will be once I post this one. In Guide 17, I'm just doing and playing with ChatGPT, which is an AI, writing something up each day about the topic that we're discussing. I started that in February. I didn't do it in January because I didn't know about it, and then I learned about it end of January. So I thought, I'm just going to play with this year and see what kind of information we get. So far, I think it's good. It's good information. It's a lot of, I haven't edited it, so they're just on there. You might say continue. I learned the continue tool, that when you want more information and continue, you just say continue and it continues on the topic that you're talking about. So there's some of those in there, but I think it's supplemental information. It's pretty general knowledge, good supplemental information for the topics that we're discussing. Because guess what? These are age-old principles, beliefs, topics, whatever you want to call them. I didn't make up spiritual connection, right? Spiritual connection's been around for as long as people have existed. So it's how we choose to look at it and how it impact us and help us to achieve our goals that's important. All right, so any questions about this, please ask. Hit me up. You can message right on here if you're on Facebook, or you can search me. It's pretty easy to find. I'm out there, and let me know what I can help you with. Otherwise, have an awesome day. And of course, you see tomorrow with another spiritual goals related topic to help us get what we want in all the areas and aspects of our life moving forward this year. All right, have an awesome day.